Before you go ahead and open up an account with Exness, you really need to understand how the fees work, the different fee structures between each of the accounts that you can get access to, and what these actually are, because the different fees and spreads and commissions, they confuse a lot of people. So you'll want to understand what they are before you go ahead and open up your account. So in this video, I'll explain the difference between fees and spreads and what they are, how they affect your trades in practice, and when it actually makes sense to use each of these. If you don't yet have an Exness account, I'll put a link down in the description, and this is going to take you over to the official sign up page. I'll just show you right here. So then all you would need to do is just click here on register, and this gives you access to all of the different account types. So you can just create your account type right here, or create your account, I should say. You will notice that you can't select your account type on this screen, and that is exactly what we are looking for. Because once you create your account, it's going to take you over to an area that looks like this. So all you do is click on open account, and then you can choose the account that you would like based on the fees that we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, so when people hear fees, what they usually think about is like a monthly charge or a platform fee. That is not how this works inside of Exness. Forex, commodities, stocks, no matter what you are trading, that's not how this works. With Exness, you're not paying platform fees, you're not paying monthly fees, you're not paying inactivity fees or anything like that. You only pay when you trade, and you can see the different fees down here. I will leave a link to this in the description as well. This is a really nice page that Exness created, where you can see the specific fees for each different commodity. Because, for example, if we take a look at stocks right here, each of these different stocks is going to have a slightly different spread. It's going to have a slightly different margin and all of these different things. So if you know exactly what you are looking for and you are going to be trading, this is really, really helpful. Now, the difference between these fees and the two types of fees that you are going to be getting on Exness are some things called spreads or commissions. And you will notice that if something has a spread, it doesn't have a commission. And if it has a commission, it doesn't have a spread. But what's the difference between these, and when are you going to want to use these? Because this is the part that people really, really misunderstand. So when you are trading, you are always essentially quoted two prices, right? The price that you can buy at and the price that you can sell at. So we have the buy price and we also have the sell price, right? You always buy at a higher price than you are going to sell at. And the gap between these two, this is called the spread. So this is what spreads are. To give you like a concrete example of this, let's say that you are trading USD Euro, and what this is showing is this is giving us a buy price at 1.001, and it's giving us a sell price at just 1. Okay, so 1 just like this. The difference between these right here, this is the spread. Like this 0.001, this is the spread. So if you go ahead and you open a buy trade, you'd enter at 1.001, and if you close the trade immediately, you'd have to sell right here to just a flat 1. So you would lose money, and that is essentially what a spread is. If you're trading, you might have noticed that your profit and loss always starts slightly negative, and that negative amount is the spread. So yeah, that's basically how spreads work. Now, when they make sense is if you trade manually, that is the first thing. If you don't trade very frequently, so if you just don't trade day to day, or if you are a swing trader, if you hold trades for larger moves, so you're not scalping, you're holding to like you're making a pretty good profit on each of your trades, like that's your strategy. That's when you want to go ahead and want to be using spread. Because if you're targeting like 30 or 50 or 100 pips, realistically, whether the spread is 0.7 or 2.4, it makes no difference whatsoever. You'll notice that often, essentially the way that these spreads are differentiated goes off the price of the stock, right? So a more expensive stock is going to have like a higher spread in pips, and a less expensive stock is going to have a lower price in pips. Realistically, in cash value, it works out to pretty much the same. So that is spreads. And the next thing that we need to speak about is commissions. So what commissions are is, instead of widening the spread, instead of essentially having a spread at all, what a commission is they are going to say, okay, so the buy price and the sell price is the exact same. And this gives traders precision, which is why a lot of advanced traders go for these pro accounts. But we essentially have a buy price and a sell price at the exact same. And then the way that the platform makes their money is they say, okay, well, what we are going to do is, in Exness's case, they say we're going to charge you $3.50 every time you buy, and we're going to charge you $3.50 every time you sell. So this immediately opens something up where, if you are not trading a pretty large amount of volume, it's just never worth going for this, right? Because it's just going to absolutely destroy your profits. You're not going to make any money. The level that I recommend actually moving up to something like a raw spread account right here, where we have no spread and we just have commissions, is going to be around about 20 to 30 lots per month. So $2 to $3 million in volume per month. That's when you want to go ahead and move to a raw spread. So as I say, the reason that you would go ahead and actually use these commissions, these make a lot of sense if you are scalping, if you trade a lot of times per session, if you use bots, and of course, if you are using a lot of volume. You see how all of those things have a high volume, they lead to high volume. That's when we want to be using that in for. Now, this is where people get confused, and this is something that I want to touch on. A tighter spread does not necessarily mean lower cost. So you might look at this, at the pro account right here, with a 0.1 spread compared to standard with 0.2. This doesn't automatically mean lower cost. If you trade infrequently, commission accounts can actually cost you more because you're paying for precision that you're not really using. So with this, I'll just go through as well. Most people will want to be starting out on the standard account. The standard send is, if you want to trade, but you don't want to risk a lot of money, this is for like really, really new people to trading. You don't have a lot of money to trade with, you essentially just want to practice. That's when you want to use standard send. Essentially what this does is this takes a lot, which by standard is 100,000 of the currency. So in USD, one lot is $100,000. With cent, it basically takes that down to cents. So one lot becomes $1,000 because it's 100,000 cents. But most people will want to start off with standard, and then when they get to around about 2 to 3 million in volume per month, you'll want to move to the raw spread. That is the basics of it. As I say, I will leave a link in the description where you can go ahead and check out the actual fees inside of Exness for each of the different commissions and spreads that you can get. But hopefully this video give you a little bit more insight into what commissions and spreads actually are, how to read the fees now on Exness, and yeah, basically know what your account is doing. As I say, if you do want to sign up to any of these, I've left a link in the description that gives you access to all of the different account types. If you found this video valuable, drop a like. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I will reply to you there.